Hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Ngom. Today, we are still in our leadership month in the month of June, and we're going to be talking about how communication is key to being an effective leader. So I want you just to think about different opportunities that you have had in different maybe work situations or people who are quote unquote a leader, and how their communication made you feel. Did they make you feel valued? Did they make you feel important? Did they make you feel special? Or did they make you feel like you were just basically someone there to clock in, clock out, get a paycheck, get the work done, and get out of there, right? So there are certain things that we can do that can make people feel like they're an important part of our organization. And effective communication is such a huge part of it. And so I have some bullet points that I want to talk about, but I actually also have a whole lot of scripture here that I wanted to share with you, because a lot of the things, pretty much everything, that I do and apply in my business, especially in terms of leadership, in terms of communication, it comes from the Bible. This is not stuff that I have made up. This is things that I have read and have tried to apply as I, try to become a better leader myself. So I want to share some of these with you. Take some notes, and then you can go back. And so I'm going to share with you different versions of the scripture. So a lot of this is actually in the ESV version. What I like to do, if you download the YouVersion Bible app, I'll download it. And as I'm going at church, our pastor will be preaching on a specific topic. I'll get the scripture that he's referencing. I'll go look it up in the YouVersion Bible app, and then I'll look at it in a different translation. I like doing that and then highlighting it and all that good stuff. So all of these are going to be in the ESV version. Okay. James 1:19 through 20. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. And so I want to share the scripture, but also how I use this practically when it comes to effective communication and leadership. So let's say I'm having a call with a client or a call with a team member. So it could be, or anyone. You could apply this to literally everything, like a conversation with your spouse. How often do we want to get our point across and be like, no, I am right in this situation. I have so many things that I want to tell this person, and right. Instead of, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and I'm going to listen and hear what they have to say, because it could be really valuable feedback that's going to make me better. So I'm going to zip my lips and be quick to hear, slow to speak. So I'm going to be the one that I'm going to let them speak first to hear what they have to say. And then I'm going to process it. And then I might have feedback that I want to share with them, or how I heard what they said. I might want to hear what they say. I'll hear the communication, then I'll process it. And they'll be like, so what I heard you say was X, Y, and Z. So that's going to validate what they said, right? Okay, so that's James 1:19. Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth, but only such as good for building up as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. So how I'm interpreting that is obviously let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth. How the way that we're speaking, the way that we're communicating, are we using our words as a way to build people up? Or are we using our words as a way to tear people down? So I'm always focused on how can we build people up. One of my favorite songs, and this is actually my son TJ, he's 10, he plays baseball. He changed his walk-up song so that I've become a baseball professional now, baseball mom. When he walks up to bat, he has a walk-up song, and his walk-up song is Speak Life by Toby Mac, which is a great song. He loves that song. So let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, only such as good for building up. So we're going to speak life to our team, speak life to our clients, right? Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Pretty self-explanatory. Just with our tone, even are we being harsh with our tone? Colossians 4:6, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so you may know how you ought to answer each person. Proverbs 12:18, there is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. The tongue of the wise brings healing. I love that. Proverbs 18:2, a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. That goes back to the first verse that we were just talking about of we're going to be slow to speak, right? We're going to be the first ones to hear. We don't need to be the ones like, I have to get my point across. They have to understand where I'm coming from. No, let's hear their point of view first. Proverbs 18:13, if one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame. Same point. Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. So this goes back to speak life. We're gonna continue to speak life. And in the midst of speaking life, like, yes, we can give constructive feedback. We can give feedback in a way that's going to help build the person up. Okay. Colossians 3:8. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. Proverbs 18:17. The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and cross-examines him. Same thing as before, just another way of saying it. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. So as you're having conversations with people, are you focused on encouragement? Right? Man, I can't even tell you how important just like a word of encouragement is to people, because life can be hard. And a lot of times, like our team members, people that we're working with, they have so many things that are going on that you might not know about. And that's another part of leadership is like understanding your team and what's actually going on in their personal lives too, so you can help lead them effectively and work as well. But man, just like a word of encouragement, if I see you, you're doing a good job, that goes a really, really long way. Proverbs 16:24, gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. If you make it your goal, just to like for each team member, just go to them and encourage them. Hey, I see what you did here. This was actually really great. I loved it. It doesn't have to be this whole big thing, just a word of encouragement. And Philippians 2:3-4, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interest of others. So we're talking leadership. And yes, we may, like, as we're running our company, we're in a leadership position. But I let my team know that I am never like the end all be all. I am never I don't want them to think I'm always right. And I want them to always know that they have an important voice within our company. And I value what they have to say. And I have blind spots. I might say, let's do it this way, but I'm going to ask for feedback of, what do you see? Like, you're the one that's working with the clients in this area. What do you think that they need help with? Like, this is kind of what I was thinking, but I want to know what do you see in this situation? And I want them to come to me with their ideas. And I don't want it to be me, the one that's always showing up with, all right, these are the ideas. These are the game plans. This is the same thing. Like when we have a team meeting, I'm usually not the first one to speak. I'm letting them speak first with like the things that they want to talk about, their agenda. And then I might like interject a few times and then be like, oh, can we talk about this too? But I want all of them to know that within our organization, they have a really valuable voice. And I want to hear what they have to say. That just is going to bring along so much good collaboration and teamwork, and foster this awesome environment, right? Okay. I gave you a lot of scripture to go through today. I wanted to talk also just about like a few main points that go along with the scripture, in terms of communication. So clarity with communication, and clarity is really important. So like if I give somebody feedback in a specific thing, I'll ask, and I already said this, but I'm like reiterating it again, clarity and communication. And I'll ask, what did you hear me say? And I do this with, like, I literally did this morning with TJ. I was talking to him about an important subject. And I shared something. I'm like, okay, so I just talked for a couple minutes. What did you hear me say? And I want to get like the summary to see, is my communication landing? Am I being clear with my communication? I want to hear from him what he heard me say. Otherwise, I was just talking for 5 minutes and there was no point, right? So what did you hear me say? All right, collaboration. We already talked about that. Good communication is going to facilitate that collaboration among team members, letting them come to you, sharing different ideas so you can work together more efficiently, letting them be leaders within the company, letting them show up with ideas of what might make a good offer, what changes we could make, how could we make things better. Let's see what else. Trust building. So being really transparent with our communication is really important too. And these are all things like you're not going to be perfect with all of these. You won't. You're going to make mistakes. I have made plenty of mistakes as I have learned some of these important lessons, which is why I'm sharing them with you. Of leadership is a journey. It's not a destination of like we're going to arrive and we're going to be perfect. No, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall flat on our face, and then we get back up. We own up to our mistake. We apologize and let people know that I made a mistake. I totally messed up. I learned from it. I'm better because of it. And just thank you for understanding, right? Trust me, it'll happen. It'll happen. It will happen. Conflict resolution. So effective and clear communication when it comes to conflict resolution. As you are working with humans, conflict is going to arise. It's inevitable pretty much. Like it's just people. Like people come together and something's going to happen where this person didn't like it. This person assumed something else. Like it'll happen. And so being able to effectively and clearly handle conflict resolution by applying a lot of these principles, being slow to speak, the first to hear, right? These are going to help you manage conflict effectively. Learning and growth. So one of the most important things is like, yes, you're going to learn through experience, but you're listening to this podcast on leadership and communication. So you understand the value of learning in this area, but make a commitment to continue to learn, continue to grow in your leadership and your communication and everything that you're doing in leadership so you can continue to get better. You will get better as long as you make this a main focus. You don't get better just by saying, I want to be a better leader, and then waiting to see what happens. Like you have to be intentional about these things, intentionally growing in your leadership. So maybe there's like leadership conferences you can attend. A really good one that I've been to twice is the Global Leadership Summit in the Chicagoland area at Willow Creek Church. It is the beginning of August. I think it's right after my birthday, August 5th and 6th. Of 2023. So I highly recommend go to Chicago for that conference, or if you're in the Chicagoland area, definitely go and attend. It's not very expensive, and you're going to get a ton of great leadership gold at that event. All right. So I would love to hear from you. Either comment on this or send me a DM on Instagram at She's Making an Impact. What did you hear me say? What do you think is the key to effective communication? Have you had good experiences with communication, poor experiences with communication that maybe you learned from seeing how people were communicating and I did not like this. And again, this is an area that we all get to improve on and grow together. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please go and leave a review of the She's Making an Impact podcast. After you leave a review, just take a screenshot and email it to us, clientcare@rachelngom.com. And I have a gift for you as a way to say thank you for leaving your review. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll talk soon.